Because I have the best hotels. I have the best clubs. That's a small amount of money. And it sounds like a lot of money. That's a small.
Oh, I have the best clubs. I have the best hotels. I am the best at everything. I'm sorry, what was the question again? Donald Trump had a town hall with Fox News where he was handed some rather softball questions, surprise, surprise, but was still unable to give competent answers, seeming more and more disinterested and even denying the allegations against him, rather just leaning into them at this point. Like the report showing that he took $7.8 million from foreign governments while president, what they're accusing Hunter of to this exact moment, trying to strike Joe Biden for it, even though he's not in Biden's administration. And here's what Trump had to say to that fact.
House Democrats documents that say that nearly $8 million in payments to your businesses from foreign governments, China included, Saudi Arabia, while you were in office. They say Article 1 of the Constitution says you can't accept money from foreign governments while president. Would you pledge to divest from your business in a second term as other presidents have?
If I have a hotel and somebody comes in from China, that's a small amount of money. And it sounds like a lot of money. That's a small. But I was doing services for that. People were staying in these massive hotels, these beautiful hotels, because I have the best hotels. I have the best clubs. I have the best.
He's not even denying it anymore. He's just like, oh, I have the best clubs. I have the best hotels. I am the best at everything. I'm sorry, what was the question again? But he's not even trying to hide it at this point. He's just like $7.8 million. That's chump change. I'm talking Trump change. What, you don't have $7.8 million just laying around? Must be because of Biden policies. Trump 2024. Like, that's seriously how hard he's trying now. And his base just eats it up. Despite the fact he broke the Constitution, he's not even actually trying to explain himself. And Fox doesn't even call him out about that straight on its face. They're just like, will you please promise to not do it again, Mr. Former President Donald Trump? And he won't even say that. He won't even say, yeah, I won't do it again. It's just so gross. And it's obvious what his intentions are. He's not even trying to mislead you at this point. I can't even say that. Next up, they discuss Fauci, where Trump is quite the revisionist, you could say.
Ron DeSantis would definitely argue with your characterization of how he handled it.
But if you go back and look at the records, you will see that the biggest fan of Dr. Fauci was Ron DeSanctimonious. He was a big fan. He said, I go by, exactly, quote, I go by what Dr. Fauci said. He said that 2 months in, all the way through, and then eventually changed when it wasn't, that wasn't the dessert of the day. But Ron DeSantis was a big Dr. Fauci fan, and nobody wants to cover that. I say it every time.
Now, I personally think Trump was way more in the right for listening to Fauci here, but because his base has moved so far away from it, he can't even take credit for that. Whereas Ron DeSantis was doing the clearly reckless and definitely wrong thing at the time, but it's now more approved by their base. So he's the one getting championed, as DeSantis went against Trump and went against Fauci and opened Florida early, directly against the recommendations, while Trump literally gave Fauci a presidential accommodation for his work on COVID. So you tell me who is the bigger Fauci fan and who listened to him more. Of course, Trump will tell you he doesn't know who gave Fauci that presidential accommodation while he was president, that he had to sign his name on and hand him over. Who knows who did it? Could have been anyone. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video, because the only way we become a society is together.